So we're still talking about who's in control. And I hope this is helping you understand that the devil loves to hear ministers get up and say that God is in complete control. And if this happens, this happens because God willed it, or that God is actually testing us. So to say that God is testing you and that this is only a test, the reason why you're going through these situations is that God is taking these situations and he's testing you. So we talked about Romans 8:28, about how all things work together for the good. So it's very easy for a person to take situations and circumstances and say, listen, God is testing you. God is doing this to you, to test you, to teach you, and to see where you are in faith. And that's just so far from the truth. I believe where they're getting that from is the Old Testament in Job, what happened to Job. So the only thing I'm going to say about that right now is that we are new covenant believers. There's a lot of things, like I said before, that happened in the old covenant, and it was really all about Jesus getting here. A lot of stuff that happened in the Old Testament, when Jesus got here, he canceled it out. I said, look, I didn't come to do that. I came that you might have life and have life more abundantly. It was all about Jesus getting here. And I'll talk more about that in some other teachings. But this whole idea that God is sending situations and problems your way to test you is not of God. And the devil loves that because he's really the author of all that stuff that's going on. And he loves it when God gets the blame for the things that he's doing. So to take Job and to make a whole doctrine out of that and say that God is doing this and God is taking your job and God is making you sick and killing people to teach you something, it just really makes no sense. Some people will also use what happened to Abraham and how God told Abraham to sacrifice his son, and it was all about a test, and he was getting ready to kill him, and and then God said, no, wait, and it's just, I get it, but you're not Abraham and you're not a Jew, and you were not, it's like there was specific things that needed to happen with Abraham for Jesus to get here. That's really what it was all about. It was all about getting Jesus here. God gave us power and authority here on this earth, and he could not just come and just fix things. He had to do things in decency and in order. There was an order of how things needed to happen. His son had to come here legally and be a man and so it's a whole nother teaching. But let's just think about it seriously. So God is sending problems and situations your way to test you. Now listen, how is that going to make you better? Situations and circumstances, traumatic situations is supposed to make you better. What I've seen that people that go through a lot of stuff and have a lot of trials and tribulations, a lot of them end up in a mental institution. I don't see it helping them. And there are people that are homeless and on the street because of situations and problems. And, some people actually take their own lives because of situations. So if God was doing that to help them, then I don't think he's doing a good job at it. That's not God. That's not what God is doing. Go ahead and turn to James 1:13 real quick. This is real simple. James 1:13 says, let no man say when he is tempted, which is tested, I am tempted of God. I am tested of God. For God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempt he any man, which means God is not tempting any man. So listen, that right there, I don't see how that's pretty clear. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away from his own lust. God is not testing you. God is not tempting you. Jesus said, and I'm going to use this scripture a lot. Jesus said in John 10:10, the thief cometh not but to steal from you, to kill you, and to destroy you. But I have come that you might have life and have life more abundantly. God didn't come here to test you with situations. How God teaches you is through his word.